Hi everyone. Welcome to another new video. I just wanted to start this video by saying shout out to all 5 of my subscribers. Shout out to the Rue crew. Anywho, this is my cousin Yvonne, and we are here to do a very important video about the ever popular early 2000s show Laguna Beach. I've never seen this show before. Yvonne watched it when it first came out, and now we're rewatching it together. So I thought it would be fun to do a season 1 review. So let's start.
Let's do it.
First, I wanted to give first impression thoughts on each person. So first person is gonna be Elsie. I feel like the show tried to make her the main character, because she was the person who was narrating oh, previously on Laguna Beach, blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't get main character vibes from her. Also, for the whole season, I felt whenever she wasn't talking to Steven, her face was
Yeah, very sad.
she was just sad the whole time.
Constantly bummed. Well, I remember when I first watched it, obviously, yeah, she's the main character. She's the one that, the story's following. But yeah, I think now watching it again, as an adult, I'm yeah, why is she always so bummed? She's chasing Steven all the time, and that's just it. That's her story. And getting grounded because she couldn't keep her grades at a decent C or above.
All right. So the next person is Lo, which is Elsie's best friend, and I kind of thought she was a little annoying. I didn't like the way she talked. She had very poor word choice. Very poor vocabulary usage. Anyway.
I mean, she stuck by Elsie's side, and
That's
they were best friends. She was a friend, but I think with everyone else, it was very petty and that kind of vibe.
Okay, so the next one is Steven, and he's a man.
Where do we start?
He's a male. As the old saying goes, all men are trash. I feel they tried to make him look oh, he's just this cool guy that everyone wants to be with. And I'm he's literally dumb. You're constantly dragging both of these girls, both Elsie and Kristin, along. You can't make a choice. When one of them, gets mad at you, then you oh, just go move on to the other one. And then when something doesn't work out there, then you go back to the other one.
The actual villain of this show.
Truly.
He was specifically literally going back and forth between these two girls, and everyone knew, it wasn't a surprise to anyone, not even to Kristin or to Lauren. They knew what was going on. Yeah, I think he's secretly was the villain, and I think that poor Kristin and Lauren weren't as much at fault as he was for a lot of that drama.
I agree.
Yeah.
Okay, so then the next person is Kristin. I feel the show tried portraying her as the villain, but I think she's a little bit annoying. She's very out there, but she was very I know what I want, I'm gonna fight for what I want, very strong-minded, I guess, strong-willed, which shout out to that.
You love to see it.
Yeah, I gotta recognize it. She was just doing her thing,
I think at the time, yeah, when I was in middle school watching this, I was oh my god, she's a mean girl. She's so mean to all these other girls. But if you really think about it and you really watch her, yeah, she was just living her own life, doing whatever the hell she wanted to do. She was kind of, I think, more honest and a little more real than, those other people were on the show. At least she was up front,
Mm-hmm.
She was just I'm not a wolf in sheep's clothing. I'm a wolf. You see me coming. To quote New York from Flavor of Love. You knew what she was about. She wasn't trying to hide it, and we can appreciate that about Kristin.
Okay, so the next person is Christina. She wasn't super problematic or anything, aside from not inviting Elsie and Lo to her birthday party.
At Joe's Crab Shack?
Yeah!
Getting wild at Joe's Crab Shack.
And then I think my favorite part is when she was leaving the church. She was listening to 50 Cent in the car.
Yes! Yeah. Not much thought about Christina. I honestly really didn't think much of her then. She was there.
Yeah. So that leads us into the next person, which is Morgan. I felt she, after watching the season, I felt like her, out of everyone else, actually might have cared the most about everyone in the group. I felt like her feelings and her friendships with everyone were a little bit more genuine than other people. But yeah, she was just... meh.
But yeah, I think you're right. I think she did actually kind of care, I think, genuinely, and like just wanted everyone to get along and to be friends. And like you can appreciate that about someone.
The next person is Trey. My very, very first initial thought about him is that he looked like he was 38 years old going to high school. No offense. I do feel like he was definitely more ambitious than everyone else. I felt like he actually had like a plan for himself. He was doing that like AYA thing.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
What did AYA stand for again?
It was like Active
Young
Americans.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Seeing now what he was trying to do, because again, at the time, I didn't really understand, like, well, why is he having all these fashion shows? Or why is he, like, having all these, like, events? But, like, really trying to, like, get community involved and I think kind of the glue, like, of their friend group. I think probably the least amount of drama.
Actually, yeah.
The least amount of drama.
Yeah. Okay, so the next one is Talon. He was introduced as Kristin's, like, side piece. I don't remember them showing, like, a ton of footage on him or anything.
No, I think you see more of him, like, later on.
He's a man, so
That's it.
enough said.
That's enough.
And then the last person I have on here is Dieter. First of all, Dieter, Polster. What kind of names are those? That's not real. I don't know if that's his real name. If it is, it's unfortunate.
Yeah, I think wasn't he like Steven's best friend? Like during the actual season, he's not really, nothing really stands out for me.
Me either. I just wanted to mention his name.
Dieter.
Dieter.
The most obvious highlight of this season.
Cabo.
God.
It was so problematic. It was so outrageous. Like, they were like in the club or whatever, and then Kristin was dancing, and then he pulls her aside and he's just like yelling at her like, "You're a slut, slut!" Like, whoa.
Yeah, he's all, keep dancing up there, slut. I'm like, oh. First of all, they shouldn't even be there. And then now I'm just like, where are your parents? How were you even allowed to go on this trip? Television gold.
Yeah,
Iconic.
and then how they like went to dinner after or whatever,
Yeah.
and then he was like all up on Elsie, and then he looks over at Kristin and he's like, "I love you." Like, what? Are you kidding me? Like,
If I were to sum up the entire season in 2 words, it would just be messy boots. Messy boots.
that's really good. And then my last highlight is obviously just like the theme of the show, which is the constant, everlasting love triangle between Steven, Kristin, and Elsie. Very messy. It's very back and forth. I feel like everyone's emotions are just like, oh, let's see how I feel today. Oh, I don't like Steven today. Oh, I guess Steven's gonna go with Elsie today. Like,
It's a little cold today. I think I'm gonna call Kristin.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna call Elsie. Like,
literally.
like honestly, that triangle was like the main character. Everyone like saw what was happening. I mean, did anyone really like try to put a stop to it?
They live for the drama.
They live for the drama.
As do we.
As do we. Exactly. The teen drama, I was there for it, and
Yeah.
I still am. Kind of maybe can go into my highlight, which was the shady camera angles. Which to me is part of what makes Laguna Beach Laguna Beach. Is like you pan over to one person and they're just like, and then you pan over to like the other person, they're like just the camera angles of just people like staring at each other. I think when I watched it again for the first time, it made me laugh even more.
Yeah. And it's funny when like Kristin was like,
Her face was always like,
yeah.
and then Elsie's was always.
Overall thoughts on the entirety of the season. Early 2000s fashion, those flare wide leg jeans.
The collared polo, the Ugg boots.
It's iconic. I love Hillary Duff. I didn't know her song, Come Clean, right?
Yes.
Was the freaking theme song.
I think you were sold.
That was it. Yeah, I was like, all right,
sold.
I'm invested now. I feel like it also very nicely sets up season 2. Season 1 ends with like everyone going off to college, and then they're always like, oh my god, we're like, everyone's gonna be so different when we see each other in Thanksgiving.
It's only like a couple of months, and now Laguna Beach can focus on the actual true main character, Kristin. Buckle up.
Buckle. My seatbelt is fastened. Thank you for watching. Make sure if you liked it to smash that like button, to subscribe. Again, shout out to my 5 subscribers. This video is donezo.
Done so. I'm over it.
I'm over it.
Bye.